Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about something so exciting for me, and that is I am releasing my first ever book. So I've written a dissertation before because you guys know I have a Ph.D, but that's really different than writing a book. And writing a nonfiction book that's not a memoir, that's more meant to help designers find their way. And I think that what I'm hoping this book will do is that it is going to, the goal of it is just to help you, especially those of you who are starting, understand what you actually have to do to become a designer. So it's really meant for those of you who are getting started. And I do think advanced designers will get something out of it as well. And there are really three reasons why I wrote this book. So I want to talk to you guys about it. It is up for pre-sale as of yesterday. Okay, so it's up for pre-sale on Amazon, and hopefully we will be able to give you the link here in the description so you can go check it out. It will not be available for just a few more weeks. In fact, I should look at my calendar. I'm pretty sure it's, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna give you the wrong date, but just know that it's up for pre-sale, and if you go click on it, you'll see when it will be available, okay? I think it's just a few more weeks before we're gonna make it fully available. Okay, so the first reason I wrote it is because there's a ton of wrong information out there, or information that is really meant for different segments. Let me explain this, okay? So I have a good friend who is in one of my peer masterminds, and she talks about niches. And in her particular industry, like having a niche is a terrible idea. It doesn't work, okay? Whereas in our industry as designers, it actually is very helpful to have a very specific niche at the beginning. There's a certain time and place where having a niche really works for a designer, okay? In order to make money at the very get-go. Now, that's not the case over the long term, but over the short term, it does. Now, so here's the deal. Like if you were someone not sure what you wanted to do, and she's in a totally different field, she's not in design, but if you were like kind of listening to all this information, you would feel a little confused, right? You would be like, am I supposed to have a niche, or am I supposed to have, or am I supposed to be general? Should I be a general designer? And so this is really meant, this particular book, it's called Design, Profit, and Prosper. Design, Profit, and Prosper. And the whole point of it is to really dig down into our particular design niche, which is fabric and crafting design. So it's its own niche within a bigger design industry. So those of you who are general graphic designers listening to this, and you get the book and you're like, well, that doesn't make sense for my industry. It's because it shouldn't, right? I'm really digging into the niches that, the niche of the craft industry, fabric industry, surface pattern design, from what I've seen and known over the last 15 years as I have worked in it, understood it, and made a lot more money than most designers. I recently heard of another designer saying what they made at the height of their design career, and it was still under six figures. I think that's very, very typical. And because I've made the kind of money I have, and I know that it's possible for you to make that kind of money, it made a lot of sense for me to try to put some of the things that I did into a single entity, which ended up being a book. Okay, so I think number one, lots of wrong information or confusing the way it all is out there. And so what I've tried to do is put it into a single book and really talk about what profits really look like for designers like us. Okay, all right, so that's the first one. I'm gonna look at my notes because I want to make sure I tell you guys the right thing next. Okay. I mean, this is the real reason I did it. The second reason, which is I wanted to give designers real direction, aspiring designers, new designers. The number of designers I talk to, and you guys, I talk to lots, hundreds, if not thousands by this point in my career, who have said they've been spinning their wheels trying to do the same thing over and over and over again. They haven't made money. And they're not really doing what they need to do, but they don't know that because you don't know what you don't know, right? And so I've tried to take the information that really propelled my career and put it into this book so that you guys understand some of the starting steps that you have to take. Now, the third reason I did this book is because I actually put in several models that should help you as you're moving forward. Now, we're visual, right? We like visual things, and sometimes we get a little lost. I definitely can see this. If I were a new designer, I didn't have a college education in design. I was just making it. I had a good eye. I knew I loved the design world, and I was kind of starting to learn the software. I'd be like, where do I go next? What would help me? And so the book has in particular 2 models, but there are several models in there for you to start thinking about how you move forward, okay? The goal of it is to give you some confidence that what you're doing is correct, right? That's really what I want for you. You get some confidence that, you know, the things that you are choosing to do in your business are the right steps, okay? Now, of course, one of the things I talk about in the book is mentorship, and one of the issues with self-made designers is, or aspiring designers, is very often, and I would say honestly, you guys, 99%, like some crazy stat. I wish I had stats on every designer I talk to, but it's like they're not designers anymore. I think about even 12 years ago, all the designers I taught back then. I think about all the designers that used to be in the marketplace. I mean, like hundreds of designers that no longer design, okay? And it's because they weren't profitable. Guess what? If you're profitable in this business, you keep going, right? You keep making money, you keep doing it. If you're not, if your time exchange for money doesn't make sense, then what are you gonna do? You're gonna quit. You're not gonna be a designer anymore, right? And so that's the thing most people don't realize is there's so many designers spinning their wheels, and it's literally because it's like a lot of unknown, and they don't know how to make the changes necessary so that they can become better designers, that they know what the next steps are, that they know how to become profitable. It's very vague out there. It's like making it up as you go, right? And the reason it's worked for me is because of the years and years and years of experience I had and all the opportunities I was given because I was in the right place at the right time. That's actually one of the things we teach in my Design Suite program is we're always trying to make sure that our designers are in the right place at the right time. This recently happened. I had a designer who's been with me. She just barely hit her year mark. And she had really only made about 4 sales over the course of the year. She did have to take a break because of some family issues, made about 4 sales. But right at the very end of her first year, she suddenly had like $9,000 in contract type sales. And she was like, what the heck? And I was like, that is amazing. But here's the thing. If she hadn't been doing all the things she had been doing that last year, or even the previous 3 years, there's a really good chance she wouldn't have gotten these specific contracts. But she was in the right place at the right time because she was doing the work. And it compounds like that, you guys. It really does. It compounds like that. I show some of my numbers in my free training that I have. You can just go to carinagardnercourses.com/free training. And if you go to that, you'll hear me talk through some of the numbers as a designer. But it doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen from designing once a week. It doesn't happen from designing once a month. And it certainly doesn't happen if you're not in the right places at the right time. It just doesn't happen. So what I'm hoping the book does is it starts to guide you along that way. Now, here is the other cool thing we did with the book, especially those of you who get it on pre-sale. What you are going to see is that when you download the book, whether it's Kindle or paperback version, we will have a masterclass, a free masterclass, and a free workbook that goes along with the book. So if you purchase the book, you will see links in the book that will get you to the free masterclass where I'm just going to teach about some of the concepts in the book because I can go a little more in depth as I talk about it and talk about the models in it so that you understand the framework so you know how to move forward, and a workbook so that you can really be thinking about how you can move forward, okay? And I just want this to be an amazing resource for you. There's so many of you who are extremely talented. I mean, extremely talented. And yet you have no idea how to make money, how to bring in income as a designer. And this is just gonna, it's a footstool. It's definitely not the whole way, right? Because it takes a lot of time and energy to get the whole way. But it's a way to start thinking about what you can do to become better, to become your own designer, to become unique in the marketplace, and not to, to give you a realistic picture of what it looks like. So many people want design to be a very easy thing. And guess what? Design is fun. There is some ease in it, especially when we're very creative and we want to make all the things, right? So there is some ease in that. But nobody wants to take care of the business piece of it. And that's really what I want to emphasize in the book is there's this business piece that we haven't been taught to do. We definitely did not teach it at university. You'd have to go get an MBA to do that. And it's almost like life skills, experience. Like that's what happens when we start figuring out that business piece. So I hope you enjoy the book. I hope you grab it on pre-sale. Go check the link in this description, either on YouTube or the podcast, and click through to it. Or you can just put in Carina Gardner on Amazon and go check it out that way. I hope that you get so much out of it. It will be available in just a few weeks. If you're just listening to this when this comes out, just check and see when we are going to do the release of it. And I hope you really enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy the masterclass and the workbook that goes along with it. All right, that's all I have for today, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.